Hello everyone. So today I wasted almost my entire day. So since morning I have been uh, trying to fix my computer. So what happened? I did an upgrade of my Arch installation, and I think it is probably for the very first time. After the upgrade, I was not really able to boot into my laptop. So what happened? I was stuck at the Lenovo screen. So after the grub menu, when you press the um, option to boot into the operating system. Then, of course, there is a splash screen from Lenovo. Of course, I'm talking about ThinkPad. It might be something else or different for you, but I was not really able to go any further. And I tried few things. So first of all, I tried to boot into my laptop using Arch Linux bootable disk, which I always keep with me. And when I did boot um, into the laptop, I was able to chroot and I mounted the drive. And then I tried to reinstall the kernel. That didn't work. I also tried to downgrade the kernel. That also didn't work. And for example, if you want to download the kernel or downgrade the kernel, you need to basically do it using a cache. So Pacman maintains a cache, and usually it will keep the old or the recent kernels. So you can use basically those files to downgrade. So it didn't work. I tried a couple of times, and I was of course not happy. And I spent like couple of hours doing just this. Then I decided, okay, I can't fix it or I can't be bothered. Let us reinstall Arch, and that is what I am doing right now. It is actually getting. I mean, I've reinstalled it, but I'm trying to copy the old file. So basically, what happened? I reinstalled the OS, and for reinstalling OS, you can of course do it from the same bootable disk USB that I hardly recommend you to keep with you all the time, and always keep it up to date. So basically, every month maybe download the latest ISO file and then make a bootable USB from it. Uh, it is definitely needed. I can tell you from my experience. Although it has happened for the very first time for Arch, but when I had Fedora, I always kept like a bootable disk. I also do this for her, by the way, Windows. Now, what I did then, uh, after installing Arch, of course, preserve like used my GitHub repository, not GitHub, it's on Bitbucket, to restore my dot files. I also, because I keep a backup of my files, usually in my other computers and also external storage. I reverted the files, which I'm doing right now. It will take some time. And then some of the files are also maintained. I mean, for backup, I use, of course, sometimes rsync, sometimes syncthing, but I keep I make it a point every week, and I think I should probably do it a bit more often to basically back up everything regularly, like everything. Maybe every other day, or maybe I need to figure out a strategy so that I can back up all of my files in all of my other computers like every day. And of course, Syncthing and Dropbox are great, but I most likely will set up a Syncthing like a computer, I have one Intel NEC which I will most likely use. And I can also give you some advice on basically if you're doing all this, then you should keep all the instructions handy with you. For example, I have my org file in which I keep track of or basically write down all the instructions like to install Arch. I also keep track of all the packages that I need to install. So basically maintain this list of commands or things that you need to type in. So if you have it handy, maybe on your other computer, for example, I'm using this ThinkPad X220, which fortunately has all the files, and I was basically referring to it to restore everything. The last thing that I want to talk about is basically keep an Ethernet cable with you. I, of course, have Wi Fi on my laptops, And using iwctl command, you can always, or nmcli if you have installed network manager, you can also always connect to the network. But if you have Ethernet cable, then it will give you peace of mind, and keep it with you all the time. I mean, these days people don't really bother with Ethernet cable. I think it is very important. So yeah, that is it. I thought I'll probably share this with everyone. Of course, now I've learned something. The only thing that I've learned is because most of the time that I spent today is basically moving my files, like backup files, after installing. I mean, reinstalling Arch will probably not take like more than half an hour. And I think if you are stuck somewhere, or if you are maybe if you are not sure what to do, I mean, just reinstall everything. And one more thing, when you are keeping a backup of your files in other computers, and definitely in one external storage, like I have like one 2 TB hard disk, I always mirror my 2 TB hard disk to one more hard disk. So if you have a backup, then you'll be, happy in life. And if this situation arises where you have to perform a backup, then you can hopefully do it. Of course, it will waste your time, but at least you will have your files with you. And of course, whenever possible, keep your files. If not, I mean, I'm sure it is not possible for all kind of files, but let us say you are working on a project file or you're writing code, then of course version control it as well. And yeah, that is it. Uh, Not a great day for me, but I'm happy that I've lost nothing but some time. All right, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much.